So namaskar students, in the previous video we have talked about the meaning of contractual capacity, and therein we have discussed that a person who has attained the majority means, which means that if he is above the age of 18 years only then he can make contract. Now what about a person who is not a major, who is a minor, means who is below the age of 18 years, and if he wish to make agreement, what happens to that minor's agreement? So in this topic, in this video we will talk about the rules or the effects of the minor's agreement. So the first rule is that if there is a minor and if he is making any agreement, it will remain void from the starting. He cannot enforce that agreement. The agreement will not be considered as valid. Means, because why it is not valid? Because any minor, if he is making an agreement, is void. And from where it is void? From when it is void? It is void from the starting, from the beginning. This is one point. This is the most important aspect of the minor's agreement in the Indian Contract Act. Second one is that minor can be a beneficiary also. So first of all, we should know the meaning of beneficiary. Beneficiary means if you are supposed to avail any benefits, derive any benefits, right? So how can a minor become a beneficiary? So if he has performed his respective obligation, if a minor has performed his obligation, then only he can avail the benefits. So we will take one example. So in order to understand this, for example, there is a person and his name is A and he is a minor, right? And he has sold the goods, some suppose vegetables or something, to B on credit. Credit means he has delivered the goods to B. He is a minor, he has delivered the goods to B, but he has not still received the money or the payment from B, right? So this, he can enforce this agreement. Although A is a minor, he can enforce the agreement. Why he can enforce the agreement? Although whatever agreement he makes, it is void, but when he is in the position of a beneficiary, only then he can enforce those agreements. This is also one of the clause which is given under the Indian Contract Act. Next one is that no ratification. What is the meaning of ratification? Ratification means approval or some kind of confirmation, right? Some kind of acceptance, some kind of confirmation or approval is known as ratification. It means if a minor has made any agreement in the past, he cannot approve on that. Means minor has made any agreement means within the tenure of his minority, if he has made any agreement in the past, he cannot approve on it. He cannot ratify it. Why he cannot ratify it? Because there is a clause given in the Indian Contract Act that only valid acts can be ratified. Only those acts can be approved which are valid. And since any agreement made by a minor is void, so therefore he cannot carry forward any agreement later on. Therefore he cannot give his approval or confirmation on the past deed which he has done in the past or during his minority. I hope it is clear. This is known as no ratification. Next point is restitution possible. So what is the meaning of restitution here? Restitution means returning whatever benefits you have received, you return, you restore it to the other party, right? So that is known as restitution. Suppose there is a person and he is a minor, we name him A, and there is another party. Suppose this person has availed some certain benefits from the other person. Minor has availed certain benefits from the other person. Once this agreement is considered void because this person is a minor and he is having certain benefits also. He had availed in the past also certain benefits. He will restore it to B. He will give back those benefits to B if it is ordered by the court. Therefore, we have written here that restitution is possible. Restitution means giving back all those benefits which you have availed from the other party back to him. So this is there. Next one is rule of estoppel does not apply on a minor. So what is the meaning of rule of estoppel? Rule of estoppel means that you're stopped to deny. Your stop to deny means, stop to deny means, suppose if you have stated something, you have said something, you cannot deny from that later on. You cannot say that I did not say that, right? Yes, it is not, we are not talking in terms of the general context, but in the terms of the, any kind of business dealing or business transaction we are talking about. If you make any statement, if you give any statement, you are stopped to deny from that. This is known as rule of estoppel, right? Now it says that it does not apply on a minor, because minor is a kid. He can say something and the next moment he can say that I did not say that, right? So since a minor is treated, first of all, minor will not be having any kind of liability created for him. So minor will not be responsible for any kind of liability. So even if he suggests something, even if a minor tells something or says something, later on he can deviate from that. He can say that I did not say, right? Because this rule of estoppel is not implemented on a minor. So he can say and he can deviate also from that. So this is also one of the feature of the effect of minor's agreement. Next point is any contract which is made by the parents or the guardian of a minor. So if the parents are making a contract and that is for the minor, so here the term contract we have written the term contract, but also we have written the parents or the guardian. Means minor is not obviously minor cannot make any contract, he just can make an agreement, right? But if the parents are making a contract, so if that contract is if they are working under their authority, their whatever prescribed authority they have, and if it is benefiting the minor, then only this is valid, then only it can be considered as valid, right? Next one is no liability of parents. When there is no liability, if a minor is making any agreement. So if a minor is making any agreement, the parents will not be held liable for that, right? Next one is minor agent. So agent is a term which we hear in our day-to-day life also, and what is the legal term or legal meaning of agent, that we will discuss under the contract of agency in the later video. But here, in order to understand, agent is somebody who is working for someone else. So he is working under the authority of someone else, and that someone else is known as employer, or you can also call him principal, right? So this agent, now what is the rule for the minor, and if he can become agent or he can make somebody as his agent, what are the rules related to that? So first thing is that a minor can become an agent for some other person. It is okay, it is valid. A minor can act as an agent for some other person. Secondly, he cannot make any other person as his agent, right? So he cannot make any other person as his agent. This is also one of the aspects.